Hello everyone and welcome to today's session. And today we'll be discussing the theory related to the chapter biological classification. So this is the part 2 of the lecture. So again here we will discuss the theory related to this chapter focusing on the NEET exam. So again I will tell you from which topics, from which concepts the questions can come. Here. Before starting the lecture, I just want to give you one information that the images, text and other materials used in the presentations are for education purposes only. We respect the intellectual property rights of the original creators and owners. If you are the owner and have any concerns or issues, please contact us at sathee@itk.ac.in and we shall remove the content immediately. Please note that parts of the content may have been generated using generative AI, which is experimental. So, what are the objectives of this session? So, we'll study the fundamentals of the kingdom fungi, focusing on the NEET exam. So, we'll talk about the fungal features, we'll talk about the fungal cell structure, types of fungus and reproduction in the fungus. We'll talk about the ecological economic roles of the fungus. Okay, we'll talk about the decomposition, symbiosis and the application of the fungus. We'll talk about kingdom Plantae and Animalia briefly, and we'll also talk about viruses, viroid prions and lichens. So within this topic, we'll study the structure and behavior of these agents which are acellular. So virus, viroids and prions, they are acellular. These are infectious agents. They can cause diseases. And we'll also understand the lichen. What are the characteristics of the lichens and what is their environmental importance? Okay, so we'll talk about kingdom fungi. Within kingdom fungi, we'll talk about Phycomycetes, Ascomycetes, Basidiomycetes, Eutromycetes. We'll talk about kingdom Plantae, kingdom Animalia, virus, viroid prions and lichens. Let's talk about kingdom fungi first. So kingdom fungi, as you know, they include heterotrophic organism. So within heterotrophs, there are two categories, saprophytes and parasites. Saprophyte, they feed on dead and decaying organic matter. And the second one is the parasitic type of interaction. These parasites, they can harm or they can cause diseases in plants, animals as well as humans. So they show great diversity in morphology and their habitat. So fungi, they can occupy various habitats. Okay, the mushrooms and the toadstool that you eat, they are also fungi. So mushroom, you eat a lot of mushrooms, and toadstool, these are also fungi. Then fungi can cause diseases also. So you must have seen white spots on the mustard leaves. These white spots are due to the parasitic fungus Albugo candida. So you should remember this name, Albugo candida. And you should remember the disease which it is causing. It is causing the white spot on the mustard leaves. So this is a parasitic fungus. So you should remember the examples of the parasitic fungus or pathogenic fungus. These are pathogenic. These can cause disease. Then again, this is very important here. Yeast, you should remember it is a unicellular fungi. What is the importance of yeast? In yeast, there is alcoholic fermentation. Fermentation is a kind of anaerobic respiration and it is used to make bread and the beer. Okay, so rise in the dough, it is because of the carbon dioxide which is released during the alcoholic fermentation. And these alcoholic beverages like beer, this is also made using yeast. Because in yeast, alcoholic fermentation occurs. In alcoholic fermentation, what occurs? Alcohol. Which alcohol? Ethanol is produced along with the carbon dioxide. So this is the importance of the yeast. You can get a question from here. Now, fungi can cause diseases in plants and animals. Then again, there is a rust-causing fungus known as Puccinia. So again, you should remember this. This is again a parasitic fungus. These fungus, they are causing disease in the plants. Some fungus, they are source of antibiotics also like penicillium. This is the fungus. Penicillium. is a fungus, and from penicillium, penicillin has been isolated by Alexander Fleming. You should remember this. Fungi are cosmopolitan, means fungi are found everywhere. They are found in air, water, soil, on animals and plants also. They even live on the human skin. They even infect the human skin also, like Candida. Okay, remember this name, Candida. It can cause disease in humans also. Now, what is the optimum conditions for the growth of the fungus? So they grow in warm and humid places. Okay, you must be knowing about the bread mold. What is the name of the bread mold? Rhizopus. You should remember this. Okay, questions can come from here. What are the common name of the fungus? Like Rhizopus is called bread mold. It grows on the bread. So bread is very, you can say, it has moisture. Fungus, it grows in humid places where there is moisture. Then some of the fungus, they can infect humans also. So they live or they grow on the skin. So skin also have a lot of moisture on it. Remember, yeast are unicellular, so there are exceptions. Yeast is an exception. Mostly the fungus, they are multicellular, but yeast is a unicellular. And it is a unicellular eukaryote which belongs to kingdom fungi. Now let's talk about the body of the fungus. So fungus consists of thread-like structures known as hypha, and the network of hypha is known as mycelium. Now, some of the hypha can be cynocytic hypha. So what are cynocytic hypha? So what happens in cynotypic hypha? The nucleus, it keeps on dividing, but there is no cell wall formation after the nuclear division. So what happens in a single hyphae? There are lot of nucleus. So multiple nucleus are present. Many nucleus are present and they are sharing a common cytoplasm. So this is the cytoplasm. This blue color is the cytoplasm. So they are sharing the common cytoplasm. Okay. This red one, these are the nucleus. There are multiple nucleus within a single hyphae. This is cynocytic hyphae. Now, the hypha can be septate also. Okay, means they have cross walls in their hyphae and they have their own nucleus. So here the nuclear division is followed by the cell wall formation. So this is septate hyphae. Now again, characteristic feature of kingdom fungi, the cell wall consists of chitin. This is very important. The question can come from here. Okay, already question has come from NEET 2016. Fungi, they are heterotrophic. Mostly they are saprophytic, but some are but they are parasitic also. When they are saprotrophic, they feed on dead and decaying organic matter. So what they do, these fungus, they release the digestive enzyme. They secrete digestive enzymes which decompose the organic matter and then they absorb nutrients from this organic matter. So fungi, they are saprophytes. Some are parasitic also. They live on plants and animals. So they absorb nutrients or they obtain nutrients from these plants and animals. Some are symbionts. In symbiotic association, both the partners are benefited. Examples of symbionts. What are the examples? Lichens and mycorrhiza. So lichens is an association between algae and the fungus. Again, you should remember this algae, this fungus. This fungus belongs to which class? This belongs to Ascomycetes. Clear? And how this is a symbiotic association? So here the algae is producing sugars by photosynthesis. It is producing organic compounds by photosynthesis. These organic compounds are provided to the fungus. So fungus gets the sugars, organic compounds. It gets the food from the algae and the fungus, it helps the algae to absorb nutrients and the water. So fungus provides minerals and water, okay, to the algae. It provides shelter to the algae as well. So fungus provides shelter to the algae as well. Okay, the algal partner is known as phycobiont, fungal partner is known as mycobiont. Now this fungus, I have told you, it provides shelter to the algae means the algal, the phycobiont, this is embedded in the matrix of the fungus. Okay, fungus is providing shelter, it is providing protection to the algae. Now mycorrhiza, remember myco means fungus. Myco is the term related to fungus and rhiza means roots. So again, this is a symbiotic association, both the partners are benefited. Now fungus provides minerals and nutrients to the plants which are absorbed through roots, and the plant provides food or organic compounds or sugars to the fungus. Again, this fungus belongs to the class Ascomycetes. Question can come from here. In the symbiotic association, okay, the fungus belongs to which class? So answer will be Ascomycetes. Mostly it is Ascomycetes. Sometimes Basidiomycetes can also form mycorrhizal association, especially in the ectomycorrhiza. In ectomycorrhiza, Basidiomycetes form symbiotic association, but mostly it is Ascomycetes. Let's talk about reproduction. Reproduction can take place by vegetative means, fragmentation, fission and budding. In fragmentation, what happens? A fragment of hypha can give rise to a new, you can say, hypha or the new fungus. In fission, remember, it occurs in yeast. Budding also in yeast. In fission, what happens? One cell divides into two. In budding, what happens? There is a bud which is formed from the parent cell. This bud increases in size and it develops into a new individual after detaching from the parent body. Now again, this is very important. Asexual reproduction is by spores known as conidia, sporangiospores, zoospores. These are the asexual spores. Sexual spores are oospores, ascospores and basidiospores. Okay, you have to remember this. Now they form fruiting bodies also, like ascocarp in the Ascomycetes and basidiocarp in the Basidiomycetes. Now sexual cycle involves 3 steps. What are these 3 steps? Plasmogamy, and then karyogamy, and then after karyogamy a diploid cell is formed, which you can call it as zygote. In this zygote, meiosis takes place. Meiosis is reductional division, which leads to the formation of haploid spores. So what happens here? 2 compatible hypha of opposite mating type. So in fungus, we don't use male and female, we use mating types. So 2 hyphae which are compatible, but they are of opposite mating type. They will fuse together. Their protoplasm will fuse together. This is known as plasmogamy. After plasmogamy, what happens? Karyogamy means fusion of nucleus takes place. And after fusion of nucleus, what will happen? A diploid cell will be formed. In that cell, meiosis will occur, which will lead to the formation of these spores. These spores can give rise to the hypha or the mycelia. So what happens during the sexual reproduction? 2 haploid hypha of compatible mating type. One will be plus, one will be minus. They come together and they fuse, their protoplasm fuse. Now sometimes, what happens in some fungi, the fusion of 2 haploid cells immediately result in the diploid cells. So immediately the nucleus, it fuses to form the diploid cell. Clear? So 2 hypha which were N, they were fusing together. So sometimes they fuse immediately to form a diploid cell, means 2N. But in some fungi, such as Ascomycetes and Basidiomycetes, again, you should remember this question can come from here. And already question has come in 2021. In some fungi like Ascomycetes and Basidiomycetes, a dikaryotic stage is formed where there is N plus N conditions, where 2 nuclei are present per cell. So this N plus N, this is known as dikaryophase. So dikaryophase is observed in Ascomycetes and Basidiomycetes. You should remember this. Then ultimately, what will happen? These 2 nucleus, they will fuse together and they will form a diploid cell. In this diploid cell, meiosis will occur, leading to the formation of the spores. Okay, so again, question has come from this here. The fungi form fruiting bodies in which reduction division occurs, leading to formation of haploid spores. So spores are haploid, remember this, and they are formed by the meiosis. So you should know about this dikaryophase and how these spores are formed. Now, kingdom fungi has been divided into various classes based on morphology of the mycelium, mode of spore formation and fruiting bodies. Again, question has come from this line here. How the fungus, kingdom fungus has been divided into various classes. What was the criteria? Let's talk about Phycomycetes. So Phycomycetes, they are found in aquatic habitats, on decaying wood in moist and damp places. Okay, or as obligate parasite. Obligate means mandatory. They are parasitic on the other plants. Okay, they are obligate parasites. They will obtain nutrients from the other organisms. Mycelium is aseptate and cenocytic. Again, remember this. Mycelium is aseptate and cenocytic. In Phycomycetes, this is a characteristic feature of Phycomycetes. Question can come from here. Asexual spores, remember, zoospores, they are motile. You should remember this. Aplanospores, they are non-motile. Again, remember this. From NEET point of view, these spores are produced endogenously in sporangium. Again, remember, they are produced endogenously in the sporangium. This you should remember. Zygospore is formed where? In the Phycomycetes. And if they specifically ask you, if they give you the option Zygomycetes, then tick on Zygomycetes. If there is an option Phycomycetes, then tick on the Phycomycetes. Okay, so Zygomycetes is more specific answer. So zygospore is formed here. Zygospore is formed by fusion of 2 gametes. Clear? So zygospore is formed during sexual reproduction, you can say, because it is formed by fusion of 2 gametes. When the gametes are similar in morphology, they are known as isogamous. When they are similar in size and shape, they are known as isogamous. When they are dissimilar in size and shape, they are known as anisogamous or oogamous. Examples you should remember: Mucor rhizopus. Rhizopus is also known as bread mold. Albugo, which is a parasitic fungi or mustard. Albugo candida is the full name. Again, question has come from here. This is a image showing you the mucor. Then let's talk about Ascomycetes. They are known as sac fungi. The question has come from here. They are multicellular. Example, you should remember, penicillium is the example. Yeast is an example. Yeast is known as Saccharomyces cerevisiae, which is unicellular. They are saprophytic, they are decomposers, they are parasitic, they are coprophilous also. Again, remember this. Question can come from here. Which fungus is coprophilous? Means they grow on the dung. It is Ascomycetes. Mycelium, you should remember, it is branched and septate. Asexual spores are conidia, which are produced exogenously on the specialized mycelium known as conidiophores. Conidiophore is a kind of a stalk. A conidia will generate to form mycelium. Sexual spores are known as ascospores, which are produced in sac-like asci. That's why they are known as the sac fungus also. So how many ascospores are produced? 8 ascospores are produced. And how are they produced? 8 ascospores? By meiosis. And then after meiosis, mitosis also occurs. So meiosis forms 4 cells. Okay, after meiosis, 4 cells are formed. And in these 4 cells, mitosis occurs. And from 4 cells, 8 cells are produced. So 8 ascospores are produced. Remember this. Fruiting bodies. What is the fruiting bodies? Here it is ascocarp. So these aci, they are arranged in the fruiting bodies known as ascocarp. Examples you should remember: Aspergillus, Claviceps, and Neurospora. Neurospora crassa is extensively used in biochemical and genetic work because Neurospora has a short lifespan. It is easily to grow in the lab. Now, many members like morels and truffles, they are edible and they are considered delicacies. This belongs to Ascomycetes. You can see this is Aspergillus. Let's talk about Basidiomycetes. So they are known as club fungi because here a club-shaped basidium is produced. So commonly they are known as mushrooms, bracket fungi, and the puff balls. Why they are known as puff balls? What are puff balls? In puff balls, ball-like fruiting body is produced. So they can grow on soil, logs, and tree stumps. They can live in plant bodies as parasite as well, and they cause rust